Okay, let's talk about something that is just so painful and confusing. Why does someone who seems incredibly interested in you just vanish? One minute the connection is amazing, and the next, it's radio silence. It's a tough one, and today we're going to unpack the psychology behind why this happens.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's the one that can keep you up at night, just replaying everything in your head. How does that fire, that amazing feeling of being so wanted, just fizzle out? Let's get into what's actually going on with that emotional whiplash. So, every single one of these stories starts in pretty much the same place. A beginning that is just absolutely intense. It's exhilarating. It's that part that feels like it's straight out of a movie, where everything just seems to click perfectly.
Remember this stage? Oh yeah. The good morning texts that are waiting for you when you wake up, the calls that go late into the night. Your phone buzzes, and you don't even have to look, you just know it's them. For a little while, you honestly feel like you are the center of their entire world.
And all that attention, well, it feels incredible. It really does. It makes you feel seen, you feel valued, you feel uniquely special. And that feeling is so powerful, isn't it? It completely hooks you. It makes you think, wow, I finally found it.
But then, something starts to change. And it's almost so subtle at first you might think you're imagining it. The whole rhythm of your connection starts to shift. It's not like a sudden stop, which honestly makes it even more confusing. It's more of a slow, quiet fade.
And pretty soon, the shift is just undeniable. Those long, thoughtful messages are suddenly replaced by one-word answers. Lol. Okay. Those spontaneous calls somehow turn into last-minute excuses. All the effort that seemed so easy before just feels like it's completely gone.
You can feel it, can't you? It's that feeling deep in your gut. It's this growing space between the two of you, a kind of silence that just wasn't there before. And that warmth starts to get replaced by this cool, distant feeling, and that's when all the questions and the self-doubt really start to creep in.
So what's our first instinct when we feel someone pulling away? Well, it's to try and close that gap, right? We want to get things back to how they were in the beginning. And this impulse, this very natural reaction, is what kicks off a psychological dynamic we call the chase.
It all begins with that simple, pretty alarming thought. Hey, they're pulling away. And that thought acts like a trigger. It sets off this deep-seated fear of loss and makes us feel like we have to do something right now.
And this is what we usually do. We text more, we call more, we try to be even more available. And the logic, it seems to make sense. If I just put in a little more effort, if I just show them how much I care, I can remind them of what we had and fix this.
And this is the real motivation, isn't it? It's not about being controlling or needy. It's about this deep, deep desire to get back to that amazing feeling from the start, to feel special and wanted all over again. You're really just chasing the memory of that beginning. But, and this is the really tough, counterintuitive truth, all of those things you're doing to try and fix the problem, they're actually about to make it so much worse. And there it is. That's the vicious cycle. The more you push for that connection, the faster they retreat. Your attempts to close the distance are actually making the gap even wider. It's a painful paradox that causes so much confusion and heartache. So what is actually going on in their head? Why does chasing someone have the exact opposite effect that you want it to? Let's finally get to the core psychological reason that explains this whole mess. This right here, this is the key. As human beings, we are fundamentally wired to value the things we have to work for. We love the challenge, the pursuit. So when something or someone becomes too easy, too available, too eager, our brains inadvertently lower its value. The thrill of the chase is just gone. It all boils down to this idea called perceived value. Just think about it for a second. A trophy you had to train for months to win feels way more valuable than one someone just hands you for free, right? It's not about the trophy itself, it's about the effort it took to get it. And unfortunately, that same mental shortcut can apply to how we see people in relationships. Now, the automatic reaction here is to think, well, I guess I'm just not good enough. But you have to stop that thought right there. We need to completely reframe this, because the issue is almost never about your actual worth as a person. The real problem is an imbalance. You gave your time, your energy, and your affection so freely and so quickly that the other person never got a chance to invest, to pursue, to feel like they had earned a part of that connection. Your value wasn't being seen because it was never really challenged.
Okay, so understanding all this is one thing, but what in the world are you supposed to do about it? How do you actually break this painful cycle? Well, this part is all about shifting your focus from chasing them to investing in yourself.
So the solution sounds simple, but I know it's incredibly hard to do. Step 1, you have to stop chasing, period. No more extra texts, no more being available 24/7. You have to create some space. And this is not about playing games, it's about reestablishing balance. And then step 2 naturally follows. By creating that space, you give them the space to feel your absence, to notice what's missing, and hopefully to start seeing your value on their own terms.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Just imagine all of the time, the emotion, and the pure energy you spent chasing someone who's pulling away. Now, what if you took all of that energy and turned it inward? What if you poured it back into your own goals, your friendships, your passions? What amazing version of yourself could you build? That is the real prize to chase.